So welcome everybody. It's really a privilege for me to be here today representing an industry that has been declared dead more times, I think, than there are apps in the Apple App Store. And I think there are 1.2 million of them. So the number of requiems for our industry during the last decade when it comes to communication and when it comes to digitalization was definitely higher. But I'm happy to say that we have emerged from Walking Dead to now really spearheading the digital entertainment industry as the guys who make music. And basically, I think mastering its challenge. One of the most important of which is obviously engaging fans. So today, I'd like to briefly talk about how awareness has become a currency and how we are to manage that in the digital entertainment sector. I want to talk about access and usage, but obviously, most of all, I want to talk about the most emotional and fascinating product ever, close to soccer, which is music. So music, and I think that's one of the key points, obviously is not the most emotional product. It is also the undisputed driving force in digital traffic. And this is obviously what it makes so interesting when it comes to digital communication. 29 of the 30 most viewed YouTube clips are music videos, and 16 of the top 20 personalities for the largest fan bases on Facebook and Twitter are musicians. So let me briefly talk about how music got there, because it was a quite long and bumpy road, as you might know. But the last 10 years have really taught us a big lesson, and I think we have represented a big turnaround when it comes to that development. In the last 10 years, we have experienced an obviously very drastic and continuing shift in the usage and distribution of our product, in consumer behavior, in communication, and also in our competitors. Firstly, in regards to the consumers, obviously they are better informed, they are always on, they are self-organized, they want everything always and everywhere, and there are no boundaries. So that is what we have learned, and admittedly it has taken us some time, and some of the decisions were taken out of our hands by companies like Apple, but well, we are still there and we rebound, and we are growing, by the way, again. As a always very self-confident tastemaker industry, we needed to learn the hard lesson to absolutely put the consumer and the fan in the center of everything we do. And we had to learn it the hard way. And by now, I think we have become quite great in it. Secondly, communication. Within seconds, any news items, any song is spread around the world digitally. So what does that mean for our industry? Are we going to lose the buzz, as a consequence, lose the profit, because music is perfectly speaking for itself? Today, in contrary, we use this buzz by combining digital and analog communication about music in our campaigns, because it's our task to create magical and invaluable offline moments, because the fascination always arises in the hearts of the people. And thirdly, our competitors. For a decade now, we have been asked time again, what do we still need records labels for if everything is available at all times, and if the creative heads can get in touch with their fans all over the world directly via their digital channels? Well, I think I should also take the stage to make clear that artists do not become famous and successful just by using the technological possibilities of the internet. They become successful because they have a big team of people in record companies and in communication companies to work for them and to work with them. In the last decade, there was not even a half dozen of stars who got famous just by using the internet alone. So our industry has developed to be something like a workbench. We take care of the individual needs of each and every one of our artists in producing music, in writing music, in distributing music, and obviously in communicating music. All of that happens within an international network that holds access to all relevant channels of distribution and communication. So digital communication is our lucky chance, and we learned how to deal with it. Not only does it create unlimited spaces across all continents, time zones, and cultures, also our product has no boundaries, it also fuels creativity and, as a consequence, enriches our industry with stars, with songs, and with music. So this is why we really focused on becoming the best at building reach, establishing relevance, and leaving a recognizable and popular imprint in the digital tapestry. But how do we master this communication challenge? Well, I guess there are 3 points, and many of them you hear at one or the other speaker as well. There are 3 main points, and I think the very first one is be relevant. And the music industry, the big music companies, they had to learn a big lesson about being relevant when it comes to their product. A while ago, it was enough to be on MTV and to perform in the limited space pushed by the conglomerate of media giants. A few dictated what the majority was to get. Today, it's all about creating unique settings, driven by passion and the will to break rules. The paramount for our communication strategy is to communicate with great content, thus music, because the most relevant thing about music is the music itself. So the best way to communicate is to have hits, to have great products, and this is really what we start to focus on again. But don't forget, relevance is also subject to change, and especially our business has some very juicy examples for that, one of which is this one. If you look at it, this was like an artist, and both of them share the same ambition. Both of them have entered the industry of awareness. But how far this can go, you just see here how within 10 years the perception of a star and the way of they want to communicate themselves really changes. And I can tell you in the year 2015, it's definitely more relevant to ride naked on a wrecking ball. But relevance alone is not enough. And there is the second big lesson, which most of you already know, which is extremely important to us, which is be open and interact. Embrace the customer. React to their reaction. And for us, we are a big company. It was very hard to understand that we needed to be able to change our communication while it was going, to change our setups, to change our plans if the rules are changing. And obviously, if it goes wrong, try a different approach. And I don't need to tell you guys about the fail again, fail better principle. That would be like teaching a baker how to bake the bread. But that's important. Be open and interact. And the last and maybe most impressive point, and we have a big deal with our artists to do that, it's be authentical. It's easy for us to be authentical because our artists are very authentic, because they create authentical moments and they are unique in every way and in every form of their appearance. And this is what makes music itself such a strong means of communication. So clearly, music is a great and quite impressive example for the successful shift of communication in the digital age, because music itself as a product is viral, social, and emotional. And this is why we and our artists understand to communicate and socialize with the audience instead of advertising them. That was a process we needed to learn. Check, we have done it. In Germany alone, each month we cater to more than 250 million contacts via our digital channels. So we really use music to create reach, and we use it successfully. And at the end of the day, turning the result of artistic work into a great user experience, this is what it's all about for us. Thank you very much.